Hi guys, Darth Deuces here, back with another Star Wars The Vintage Collection action figure review. Today, taking a look at finally our second member of the Bad Batch that they've made in this scale. We have Crosshair, the first being Hunter, and it's taken a criminally long time to get another member of the Bad Batch. By the way things are going, we're not going to complete the whole squad till like 2028 or like 2030 or something like that. Because I think Hunter came out like 2 years ago, which is crazy. The Black Series only took them like a year to get them all out, and then for whatever reason they're taking their sweet time with TVC. I don't know why, especially considering I'm pretty sure this figure reuses a lot of the Hunter parts, so it's not like it was a huge like undertaking. Anyways, it is cool that they made Crosshair next. He's probably the one I wanted them to make the most. Yeah, take a quick look at him on the card back. Unfortunately, got mine on Amazon, and luckily I'm going to open this because there's a big ass crease on the top of the card. I haven't had that issue with Amazon in a while, but they mailed this in callus in one of those paper mailer bags, so it was bound to get damaged, which is unfortunate. But again, like I said, I'm just going to open it. But taking a look at the card back, this is actually a really nice figure to have on the card. I really like the image here. Crosshair, I think this is the very first episode of Bad Batch, just before they went to Imperial. But it looks really nice, the green, the figure, the Bad Batch logo, everything. Good image of the figure. And then a really brief write up there, which is, sums him up pretty well for the most part. But that's pretty much it for the figure on the card. So let's crack him open and take a closer look. All right, now I got the figure out of the packaging, and it's a really solid figure. I figured it would be. It's met my expectations for the most part. I was expecting mostly reuse of Hunter, but there is some new parts here to make it Crosshair specific. And really my main issue is just paint. This figure, it's weird. This figure is missing paint that the Black Series one has, and then the Black Series one is missing paint that the Vintage Collection one has. So they both have varying degrees of accuracy. It's very strange. But anyways, taking a closer look, one of my theories for why this is missing some paint is they ran out of budget. This figure comes with a fair amount of accessories. You've got some new tooling and already a decent amount of paint. I could see kind of the budget running out while still trying to keep this as a standard release. And I guess at the end of the day, I'd prefer him to stay a standard release. The little paint things I could fix myself if I was so inclined. But taking a look at the head sculpt with the face print, I think it looks pretty good. He's got the tattoo, or I think that's a tattoo. I'm pretty sure it's a tattoo around the eye, and then the facial features I think are all fairly accurately printed on there. The face is ever so slightly, maybe a little glossier than I'd like. But overall, it looks good. I'll do a comparison with the Black Series one. I actually do think I prefer the Black Series one a little better. I'm probably going to display this one. Actually, I'm not sure which one I'll display with the helmet off and one with the helmet on. But I think it looks pretty good. He's got the shoulder pads here. They are soft plastic and attached via the O-ring, so they'll move with the shoulder joint. But it looks accurate with the 99 logo there, the red. Got the dark around the collar. The armor does have a degree of some wear and tear sculpted in there. I think that is what that is. So that's cool. The red lines. Most of the paint is fairly sharply applied, which is good. One of my main issues, though, is on the belt. The buckle of the belt is painted, but then on the bandolier, these shells or whatever aren't painted, which I could forgive, I guess. But then he's missing this whole spot. Even though the detail is sculpted to be raised, they didn't paint this red, and it's supposed to be red, and it's red on the Black Series. I don't know why they skipped on the paint there. It does look a little odd. Wouldn't be the hardest thing to fix, obviously, even if you're not super versed in painting. But I might try to fix that up at some point. But that is kind of odd why they just left that out. It's pretty obvious. I don't love that. Surely they could have fit that in the budget somewhere. Otherwise, the printing on the shoulder pad here looks pretty good. You've got more paint, black and grays on the armor, which looks nice. The back of him is a much darker black, which I don't think the Black Series did. Now, the Black Series is just a full gray. This one has more black on it, which I assume is more accurate. And the midsection is black. I just realized here, I think this middle section is supposed to be gray, but the paint is way off kilter on mine. I didn't even notice that till right now. That's way off. Yeah, that's pretty bad QC, to be honest. That's really off. It doesn't really, it's not going to kill the figure for me or anything, but that's a bit of a shame. And the legs look good with more of that black and gray. the red lines that actually don't go as far down as the Black Series one do. I don't know which one's more accurate. I should reference the Hot Toys figure I have, but it's not handy to me. And the feet, which are pretty standard. But overall, I think all the sculpting's pretty good. The torso is new to be a bit slimmer to fit Crosshair's more slimmer physique better. The shoulders and the head are in the bandolier are new pieces, and then I believe the rest is reuse of Hunter. You can tell with this one because they have the little hole where the sheath for the vibro knife would go. But yeah, not bad looking at all. Articulation-wise, all the standard TVC articulation you expect at this point. Dumbbell joint at the neck, which doesn't actually move up and down a whole lot. A little bit of pivot, rotation. Hinge and swivel at the shoulders that move well, and the shoulders armor gets out of the way and moves with them. Really deep elbow bend. That's pretty nice with the rotation. Swivel at the wrist. The right hand has it in and out, and then left hand, sorry, and then the right hand is up and down, so that's good. Ball joint at the torso, which moves around a bit. Nothing too crazy, but you do get some motion there. The bandolier is free floating. It does like to ride up a lot, so you will have to readjust that when you're posing and whatnot. It's a little annoying. I kind of wish they just glued this down. I think on the Black Series it's glued down. I could do that myself. Maybe I will, because this is a little annoying. A hip joint that kick out pretty far. Can do a pretty good spread. Swivel at the thigh. That's hidden well by the armor. A single hinge at the knee, which goes past 90. Then hinges at the ankle that go up, they go down, and they have ankle rockers for ankle pivot. So pretty good articulation. You're going to get them in pretty much all the poses that you want for the most part. Yeah, man, this bandolier is really bugging me. Wasn't expecting this to bug me so much. I'm going to have to glue this down, I think, at some point, but we're not going to do it right now. In terms of accessories, Crosshair comes with a fair amount for a standard release. Oops. Weapon-wise, which I almost accidentally threw out and didn't take out the packages, he comes with the tiny little clone pistol, which is good. You can have them hold it if you'd like. And then you can have them store it in the holster, which is probably where it will stay for me. But it goes in there pretty nice and secure. It's not just gonna fall out, so that's good. Of course, he's gotta come with his sniper rifle. It does split into two parts, like the Black Series one does, so you can store it on the backpack, which I'll show in a second. I'll get him to hold this. The handles actually, or grip or whatever, is actually pretty large. You can still hold the gun. It's not too big of a deal. And I like with the hinge, you can kind of get him to throw it over his shoulder. But yeah, he holds it, but it's a little more awkward than it probably should be. But just get him posed up here. Try to get him posed up here. You can get him in a two-handed pose pretty easily, although the hand wants to come off of the grip because it's just how big the handle is. Like, that's a little strange. But there you go. Not too hard. Pretty cool weapon. Take it out of his hand for now, though. This bandolier, man. It's got to get glued down. Like I said, backpack. The Vintage Collection ones, it's like a full black, cast in black, where in the Black Series it was gray. I think the black is more accurate. Interesting that they differ, though. And that just pegs. That goes in actually pretty nice and tightly. That's cool. That ain't coming off easy. And then you do have the slot in the hole, so you can, oops, unplug the barrel. This goes in a certain way. Let's put it in, you slot in like that. I'm sure you could put it the other way if you want to. I don't know which one's more accurate. And then you can just peg the end of the barrel onto the side there. That's pretty secure. And then you can store the rifle on his back. Again, not coming off, nice and secure storage. And then lastly, of course, he's got to come with his helmet. But what's interesting is that it's a swappable head sculpt. It's not a actual helmet accessory. It doesn't go over the head. That's interesting because, one, they would have had no problem having a helmet that still looks good that could go over Crosshair's head. He doesn't have any weird, crazy hairstyle. It's quite flat and combed down. So they could have done the removable helmet, no problem. They did the removable helmet with Hunter, which I think it worked perfectly fine. So I'm a little surprised they went with the interchangeable head sculpt. I am 50-50 on this style of heads. I prefer removable helmet accessories when they can do it easily. So when you have someone like Crosshair or like Pre-Vizsla or something where they don't have crazy hairstyles where you're easily able to integrate an actual functioning helmet, I prefer when they do with the helmets. The interchangeable head sculpts are good when it's like a crazy alien that wears a helmet or like a person that has a crazy hairstyle. Then yes, the swappable helmets make sense. But for someone like Crosshair, I think they could have done a swappable helmet, so that's a little unfortunate. But on the flip side, this will never warp out of shape because it's a one big solid chunk of plastic. It is sculpted pretty nice. It is painted fairly well, except for they still haven't been putting the Target Crosshair emblem or design around the eye here. They didn't do it on the Black Series. They haven't done it again on TVC, even though it's been like 3-4 years since the Crosshair Black Series figure came out, in years since the Bad Batch came out. I don't know why they keep omitting that detail on this helmet. I couldn't tell you. And then it does have the functioning rangefinder. It is a softer plastic, so it won't break. But you just, well, I haven't done this yet. I assume you just pop the head off, yeah, and then you just pop the helmet on. And then there you go with Crosshair with the helmet on, and it looks pretty good. So it works well. I mean, and if you prefer interchangeable helmet sculpts, you'll have no issue with it. I don't really have much of an issue with it. I just would have preferred it to be a helmet sculpt, I guess. So that you could put the helmet on but not have anywhere. You don't have to throw the head in a baggie or whatever. You can keep it with the figure. That's why I like the removable helmets for the most part. Anyways, I'm going to pop the Crosshair head back on for now, just so for the comparisons. Because that is where we will do next. So there are not many comparisons to do because, again, they barely released any of the Bad Batch characters. But here he is with his other TVC member. Here he is with Hunter. And I think they both look pretty good together. You can see the similarities and also some of the differences. But very nice. Slowly but surely coming together. I assume they're going to make the rest of the squad, but who knows at this point. And then here he is with the Black Series figure. Black Series figure definitely has a bit more sculpted wear and tear detail on the armor, which I like. And as you can see, this one has the silver and the red on the bandolier there. But let me pop off the Black Series' helmet. Ugh. You can see the head sculpts. I think they both look good, but I do like the Black Series one a bit better. I don't know what it is. He just looks like he's just sneering a little more. Looks a little more, has a bit more emotion to it maybe, where he just kind of, the Vintage Collection one just feels a lot more like real neutral looking. Where this one looks like he's glaring or something. I don't know. I do think the Black Series one is a little better. But overall, that is pretty much it for this review. Oops. Overall, I do really like this figure. I'm glad we finally got another member of the Bad Batch and another member to add to my Clone Trooper collection for 3 3/4 inch. I don't think it's perfect. Mainly the paint apps, the removable helmet, that's a personal preference thing. But the missing paint apps, and on mine, the QC error of the paint on the crotch there is a little annoying. So I don't love that. But otherwise, it articulates well, great array of accessories. The weapon storage on the backpack works really well. Hopefully we get the rest of the members soon. I will say I do think I prefer the Black Series figure. I think it was done just a little better. But they're both really solid, so if you have been wanting to collect the Bad Batch in 3 3/4 inch, I mean, I definitely recommend picking this up. And I honestly definitely feel, even though with the lacking of some of the paint apps, he's more worth the full retail price than other releases are. It comes with a fair amount of accessories, decent paint, good articulation. For the most part, pretty solid all around. Anyways, thank you guys so much for watching. Let me know what you think down in the comments below, and I'll see you all in the next video. May the Force be with you.